Vaseline petroleum jelly, a little bit on the shaft. The Vaseline petroleum jelly will dissolve into the oil in terms of once this thing starts going back, and once the initial startup, it's just initial startup lube. Alright, see that? That's in there. That's what it looks like. Ooh. Starts getting tricky now, huh? Alright. And we have, I believe, 12 rollers. We're going to start dropping them in between the vanes. This is a roller type pump. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that actual bore that it spins in is egg shaped. So this thing will spin and these rollers will move in and out of the rotors, the V grooves. The rollers move in and out through that egg shape. And then that's what causes it to pump the oil. That's the pump action. So we're going to get these in, and I'm going to drop a few drops of power steering fluid down in there just to lube it up. I had ran automatic transmission fluid in my Dodge, but I think I'm going to, with this job, I'm going to flush it all out and run a straight power steering fluid. I don't know if the transmission fluid had any effect on this pump blowing the flow control valve out, but I've heard different opinions. People say you shouldn't run trans fluid in a power steering pump. I'm going to try switching to straight, tan power steering fluid and see what happens here. And keep in mind, I have another pump that I can rebuild. Set it on the shelf. I don't know. You don't know till you get it apart whether the pumps are rebuildable. This one here seems to be okay. It just blew the flow control valve out. I don't know why. Don't know if it's a one-time incident or if it's going to happen again. I've contemplated going to Lowe's and getting a new snap ring, but the snap ring doesn't look damaged, so that's something. So the flow control valve goes in this bore. I can do this part of the build and get into that later. I could build it with the old snap ring, go to Lowe's, get another snap ring. You just never know. You never know if the Lowe's snap ring's any better than the old one you have. Sometimes this foreign metal just breaks for no reason. They call it steel, but it doesn't really work like steel. Power steering fluid. I'm going to go ahead and put a little drip down in here, like so. And I'm going to spin it around. And that's basically initial startup lube. We got our petroleum jelly on the shaft on the front. Just so it's not starting dry now. In all honesty, this thing should be saturated with fluid. But what happens is you fill the reservoir, you start the car for a second, let it draw that initial fill up through. Then you top it, you shut the car off, top it off again and start it. Check the fluid from there. This goes in next. There's an O-ring here. Let's see what they call this. They call this the pressure plate. Alright, so another O-ring. Let's see what we got here. Picks. You can get picks at Harbor Freight. Again, a little wipe down. I'm going to put petroleum jelly and the bronze bushing in there. I imagine you could use grease, but petroleum jelly is, I believe it dissolves nice in the oil. I would think a grease would too, but any petroleum-based grease. All right, so that's going, right? That's going. Another little wipe down. I'm gonna hit this O-ring with petroleum jelly. Just a little on my glove here, going around. Put a little bit in the bushing. Now the fun part with this is getting this notch to line up with that dowel pin. All the while you are fighting the O-ring seal. So I'm going to attempt to drop it straight in. I think it went. I think that's it. It just kind of just dropped. Let's see. Yeah, the shaft feels like it's spinning. All right, so that's the back side of the pump. You'll know if it didn't go in because this back plug won't fit. So this back plug seals up against the O-ring in the case. This is a spring that goes in, and it holds pressure over the back plug. And the back plug goes down. Oh, you know what? I gotta lube the O-ring with some. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll lube this with the petroleum jelly. All right. So now we gotta press this in. I'm gonna try and do it by hand, but you can get creative and use a C-clamp or a vise, however. I'm going to try and do it by hand here. We'll see what kind of fun this is. Something's telling me the back housing isn't down all the way. Damn it. So I basically used the handle to tap the housing in. That seems better. It moved. Yep, that's it. Now, see if we can get this O-ring in, or this snap ring. Ooh. Yeah, let me see if I can get this on camera. It's kind of a fight, but I find it kind of amazing how this goes. Going against the spring here. Most of this snap ring groove is visible, so it shouldn't be that difficult at this point. Let's do that. Let's just get one side in and walk it around. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's in. You can do it by hand. You don't need... So now it's cocked. So now I'm going to tap that and get that spring to push that up flush. I'm going to do this. There it is. So it popped. See that? That's the end plug. Snap ring. So the snap ring, there's a little pinhole there. To get this out, you would like take a pick or a little finish nail, push it through there, get the ring out, get your pick behind it. So that's like the main pump assembly right there. It spins, it turns. Kind of sounds like it's wanting to pump. That's that. And we have the flow control valve to go in. I'm going to put it together, I think. Take a chance with that old snap ring, because really, I don't know, it doesn't look bad to me. It's not bent, it's not cracked, it doesn't have any wear on it. I don't know why it came apart. Flow control valve. Spring goes down in there. Flow control valve with this hex end goes in first. This part here gets an O-ring. No ring around that. And petroleum jelly this. Again, initial startup lube. Petroleum jelly around the O-ring. This goes in with that little pedestal down. I'm gonna have to get a pair of snap ring pliers. Pinched my fingers. I think the little nibs are worn off on these. Let's see what happens here. Yep, okay. Let's see about spreading these a little bit. I kind of see that the ring doesn't appear to be. I wonder. Playing around with this stuff. Snap ring doesn't appear to be springing out as much as it should. I might need a new one. I think that's it there. That's why it wouldn't spread. It wasn't down in the groove. The groove is way down further. Yeah, it's about a 1/4 of an inch down. But anyway, that looks to be it. Flow control valve sits down in. The snap ring is spread open the way it should be. So we figured that out. I honestly don't. Yeah, it's in the groove. That snap ring's in the groove. There isn't that much movement in that valve. Oh, okay, there it goes. Now it moved down nice. Let's see what we got here. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. That is the pump assembly. The only thing left to do now is put the reservoir in and press the pulley on. That's it.